Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the science fiction comedy horror, The Cabin in the Woods. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. The film begins with a pair of middle-aged guys strolling through some sort of facility while a younger woman in a lab coat attempts to notify them about an incident at the Stockholm facility. They are talking about unimportant matters about marriage and prospective children. What she is telling the two men does not significantly worry them. They say that their Japanese plant will complete the task, and that their American facility typically comes in second. The younger of the two men invites the older one to spend the upcoming weekend at his place as they get into a golf cart and leave. We now find Dana, Kristen Connolly, and Jules, Anna Hutchison, discussing education in a room in a college town. Dana allegedly had a negative relationship with one of her instructors. Kurt, Chris Hemsworth, Jules' boyfriend, enters the room and throws a football at the girls. It flies out the window, but Kurt's fixer Holden, Jesse Williams, catches it on the ground. The guys are there to pick up the ladies for a long weekend at Kurt's cousin's lakeside cabin. After Dana has finished packing, everyone descends to pack the RV. When their pal Marty arrives in his car and starts smoking marijuana from a sizable bong that also functions as a travel mug, they are set to depart. The two middle-aged guys, Sitterson, Richard Jenkins, and Hadley, Bradley Whitford, are watching all of this unfold on television screens at the previously mentioned facility. They don't specify why, but it appears that they have been drugging the kids in various ways: hair dye for Jules, Marty's stash, etc. When they stop for gas and directions, the group is almost at the cabin. Mordecai, the attendant, Tim DeZarn, is an elderly, unwelcoming, and somewhat insane man. They won't have any trouble getting to the cabin, he assures them. It's getting back that they should be concerned about. When he calls Jules a whore, the kids make fun of him, he acts snarky and violent, and there is almost a fight. As an alternative, everyone climbs back into the RV and they go off. To reach the cabin, they must pass through a U-shaped tunnel carved out of the mountain. A bird tries to fly across the ravine as they pass through it, but it collides with an invisible barrier. The bird is electrocuted and likely dies as a result of falling. Hadley answers the phone when it rings back at the facility. Mordecai is here. He says the college students are on their way to the cabin and warns them to be careful because the partygoer almost botched it up for them. He then becomes irate that Hadley has put him on speakerphone and hangs up, to the amusement of Hadley and Sitterson. They unpack as they get to the cabin. They are still clearly being observed by the cameras that the facility staff installed. When Holden spots a terrible painting on the wall, he is in his bedroom getting ready for the beach. After removing it, he finds a window leading to Dana's room in the adjacent building. Unaware that the mirror in her room is showing Holden in the adjacent room everything as she begins to undress, she does so. Holden enters Dana's room and informs her of the situation before switching chambers. Now that Dana can see Holden, she clearly approves of what she sees. Everyone working at the plant has assembled to place wagers on the decision made by the occupants of the cabin. Hadley genuinely wants the merman to appear. Brian Weitztruman, a new agent, is startled by how the other agents act. His feelings are acknowledged, but Lynn, Amy Acker, a more experienced agent, advises him not to criticize the other agents for their apparent flippancy. Though they all appear to recognize that what is happening is of the utmost significance, Truman nevertheless questions Hadley and Sitterson about the processes because he feels it is unfair. Everyone at the cabin enters the living area and begins to consume alcohol. Marty keeps puffing on the marijuana he brought. They all begin to play truth or dare as they all start to feel pretty tanked. Jules is bold enough to have sex with the mounted wolf head. Dana will then take a turn. When the cellar door swings open, shocking everyone, she has just chosen dare. They challenge her to descend down the cellar. She does, and the others do likewise. Down there is a ton of pretty bizarre stuff. Dana selects a journal. Kurt picks a puzzle ball and makes an attempt to open it. Jules begins to wear the necklace that accompanies with the bridal dress after deciding she likes it. Holden is entranced by a child's jewelry box that opens to reveal a dancing ballerina while Marty is gazing at a conch shell when all of a sudden, the audience at the facility is attentive and silent. Everyone drops what they were looking at and moves over to Dana when she shouts, "Hey guys! Listen to this." The young girl who kept the diary was violently beaten by her father. There is a feeling that once someone reads the Latin words at the diary's end, they will all come back. They shouldn't read it, argues Marty. Dana should read it, he hears a voice instruct. No other people appear to hear it. Dana decides to read the Latin against Marty's advice, and somewhere outside, The zombie-like members of the Diary family emerge from their graves. It turns out that maintenance and the new intern won the pool at the facility with their choice of redneck zombies. Hadley is quite disappointed that he won't be able to witness a merman. The children return to the main room at the cabin. Kurt and Jules are acting strangely. While Kurt is being combative and derogatory toward his girlfriend, Jules is dancing extremely suggestively in front of the fire. Marty recognizes this, but the others dismiss his worries. Kurt and Jules make the choice to take a stroll. They begin to have sexual relations in the woods as a result of some pheromone fog, but the zombies prevent them from doing so. Kurt heals Jules after she receives a stabbing to the hand. Despite being stabbed in the shoulder, he lives. Kurt witnesses the recapture and execution of Jules. After escaping, he sprints back to the cabin. Hadley and Sinister appear to be praying as Jules is dying. When Hadley pulls a lever, blood pours into a groove in a stone tablet, revealing the outline of the whore, a feminine form. The ground begins to tremble. When Marty rushes outside after hearing a voice in his head, Kurt is sprinting toward him while fending off a zombie. Both of them enter and shut the door. Everyone is informed of Jules passing by Kurt. They make the decision to stay together and barricade the house. They are instructed to separate by the facility, but only Marty is aware of the voice. He asks the others to stay together, but no one pays attention, and Marty, Dana, and Holden all depart to their respective rooms. Right away, the doors close behind them. Nobody at the facility can figure out why Marty isn't responding to their pranks. The plan is not being followed, and he can hear the whispers. They are concerned that he will wreck everything. He is shocked in Marty's room and smashes a lamp. When he lifts it up, a camera is inside. Everything he has said regarding this location has been supported by this. As he prepares to look around more, a zombie bursts through the window and drags him outside. They battle. Marty receives a backstab wound before being carried away. Bad noises then start. Marty's poor. The facility staff are happy that Marty won't interfere with their strategy. They are still looking into why their medications didn't help him, though. They come to the conclusion that they overlooked one of his stashes when they were mixing his marijuana with their medications, making him resistant to their ruses. The silhouette of the partygoer is marred by blood. The earth trembles. A zombie tries to enter Dana's room through a window. Holden breaks the glass separating their rooms when he hears this in the room next to theirs and brings the woman into his. They discover a door in the floor that opens to a different underground area. It appears that this was the room where the girl from the diary was beaten and tortured by her father. The door won't open, despite their efforts to escape. Holden receives a backstab from one of the zombies as soon as they come across them. Just as Kurt unlocks the door from the other side, Dana stabs the undead numerous times. They all three enter the RV. A bloody handprint is visible on the door's exterior when it closes. Hadley realizes as they get closer to the tunnel that the explosion that collapses the tunnel and prevents them from leaving was never set off by the demolition crew. Hadley and Sinister are working feverishly to fix this oversight as the trio is desperately trying to flee. When the RV is halfway through the tunnel, it begins to collapse. They turn around and head back the way they came, narrowly avoiding disaster. With a dirt bike in the rear of the RV, Kurt chooses to jump the ravine and go for assistance. He collides with the unseen barrier like the bird and perishes. Blood splatters against the jock's outline. When Dana and Holden learn what happened to Kurt, they acknowledge that Marty was correct the entire time. In an effort to find a way out, they turn around and return to the cabin. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.